the public, they know governance issues,
Yes,
and they'd
yes.
want to hear about this. How are you going to tie that narrative in and the explanations that they're needing to appease them and also make them interested in the relevance of ASEAN?
And that's why even as we host the ASEAN for the next still this the ASEAN would end about end of somewhere in the first week of November. What's important is we make it inclusive, and that is why we are mounting Trabaho at Negosyo simultaneously in all the SM malls, which has been committed by TESI. In fact, that is the project of the First Lady and our President Marcos. No? Job generation. So this, as we host the ASEAN, we will have conferences, meetings. For the next 5 months, it's going to be just basically ABAC members meeting, no, in the Philippines. But when we move towards the later part of the year, that becomes now larger meetings, and the culmination of that is the ABIS. Now, during that whole time,
The ASEAN Business Investment
yes,
Summit.
that's the finale of the whole
Because
event.
this is where rubber hits the road, where jobs
Y-
can be
yes.
created from the
Yeah.
communiques that come
But
out.
we're not going to wait for that. We are going to do it now.
How?
Because Go Negosyo is going to mount it in a massive way. We will suspend all our summits that we have been doing. We will suspend the 3MOW, and we will focus on Trabaho at Negosyo. And why so? Because we want the people to go to the malls, and those who need, we did already a job fair in SM Mall of Asia together with the president. And aside from that, we had also a negosyo center composed of about 50 mentors and access to money and all of that. So and then we will have an LED in the mall, which will beam what is happening in ASEAN. So as they can see what's happening, because they'll not be able to enter, because when you enter the ABIS, you will have to pay, and the amount is huge. So that is basically for those who can afford. No? But we want to make it inclusive, so we will share that what is happening in the different meetings on LED in the mall, and there will be trabaho at negosyo activity that's happening.
Do you think that's going to turn the tide of consumer sentiment? I mean, it's become tepid, it's become weaker because of what they've been hearing about the flood control scam and the investigations that have so far gone nowhere. How then do you encourage them when there's something of a bigger problem at the back of their heads that still has to be resolved but has not been?
Those are problems that they can't solve, basically. Our people can solve those problems. It's the government that will solve the problem. But then we should not dwell on the problem, because what we want to show is that the Philippines is more positive about its future. Yes, there are mistakes done by some people in Congress. You can see in the newspaper, that seems to be the headlines every day. But we have to go through that. Unfortunately, that happened, and hopefully the ASEAN hosting of the Philippines will give us that chance to explain to the world that we're open for business. And what happened will be a thing of the past, and we should not ever repeat what happened.
All right. So if a foreign investor comes to you and asks, what have you done about your governance issues? What will you tell them?
Well, all of these governance issues are already laid down. But the problem is there are loopholes to all of this, right? And what happened in Congress was a massive loophole. So I think many of our congressmen are aware, and they know that what happened affects their stature. I mean, congressmen are well respected, and even our senators, but there can be a few that can really create so much damage. No? And our president, Marcos, is on top of this. The private sector is, concerned, obviously, about what happened, but we have to move forward. And that's why it's the golden opportunity that we have. The next time we will host will be 10 years from today. So I'll be too old to host already. So even our president will not be there. So there will be a big change. So what we're doing in the private sector is our partnership with government. We have to make this very successful.
Are you getting any indications that the partnership is strong, given that they're fully distracted about the investigations and the flood control scam?
We still have a very good image, because of our overseas workers. The overseas workers have left a trademark on their ability to serve other people who are not Filipinos. And that's a remarkable thing. And what we want to do is, of course, if we generate more employment and more, and our sari-sari stores or small business grow, then there is more economic activity. There's a chance for them to achieve prosperity. And so we want the Philippines to be an inclusive country. That's important. It's not just for us in big business. Yes, we're fortunate to be where we are, but unless we bring up the level of wealth to these people, the country will never succeed.